Guys, welcome. It's your friendly neighborhood bee, and let's get straight into it, shall we? From r/narrations. Am I the butthole for giving our son my last name? Alrighty. OP is 32 female, and her partner is 34 male. I've been with my partner for around 9 years. We have a 5-month-old son who has my last name. My partner is upset about this and feels as if I deceived him because he thought the name was just for hospital documents and not legally for everything else. Alrighty. He wants our son to have his name and has been hiding it and lying to his family about it until we get it changed. I've been upfront from the very early days of our relationship that any child I have will have my name, generally around the context of if we are married and I have your name, so will our kids. They will have our name. But if we aren't married, the kids will have whatever name I have the time they are born. I already have an older child, a 12-year-old boy, from a previous relationship who also has my name. So it's not like he was blindsided by my mindset around this. Yeah, and I agree with your mindset. Some additional context, I'm from New Zealand. When my dad married my stepmom, they hyphenated their names together. And when my brother married, he took his wife's name. My family is very big, mixed, and open-minded. We are not set in a lot of the more traditional mindsets. My partner is Punjabi Indian and has a very traditional family mindset. Think 1950s strict gender roles type household. The type of person who thinks if he has anything to do with something traditionally more feminine, his genitals might fall off and therefore must be avoided at all costs. That was descriptive. Thank you for that. We planned a wedding in 2025 and had a small ceremony. The wedding has been a sore spot of contention for us as it was completely centered around him, his culture, his family, since he wanted to have it done for his parents to be happy. I kind of let him and his family arrange everything and just showed up on the day. I have since found out we aren't actually married. We signed the documents on the day and I thought it was sorted. However, my partner was very evasive every time I asked him about a marriage certificate, and he finally admitted nothing was filed and we are not legally married. Oh, how deceitful. Since we are not married, I haven't changed my name to his. And when our son was born, we had several rounds of conversation about his last name, ultimately ending with me putting my name on our son's documents. Smart. Recently, the topic came up again where my partner was upset about the name, and I have started to feel really guilty. Not necessarily because of my decision, but mostly because my partner is hurt about it, and I feel bad that he's upset. I've actually told him we can change the names after we're actually married. It's not a big deal, but until then, my kids have my name, and I'm not budging. I really don't think I'm in the wrong here, as I was clear about it when we were first together. But lately, there has been a little thought in the back of my mind that maybe I was wrong. I know this can be a really touchy topic, especially with men, but I feel like he had more than enough opportunity to be on board with this well before we had a baby. Am I the butthole? No. And honestly, this doesn't seem like someone that you should get married to, for one. And two, honestly, yes, children are a blessing, but was it really the best idea to have a child with this person? Because children are a lifelong bond. They truly are. Like, child's here, can't do anything about it, right? But like, I don't think you are necessarily the safest, considering how you've described his mindset and the fact that he is trying to be so controlling about this. Like, he knew going into this relationship how you felt about this. And honestly, it was very smart of you to stick to your guns about, no, this child will have my last name. And considering the wedding was kind of Deceitful and it was all about him and da 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 da. Just, no, not the butthole at all. Not at all. And if you like stories like this, I'm here every day. So make sure to like and subscribe. Next one. R/ true off my chest. I thought my family was rich, but it was all a lie. I grew up believing we were rich. My siblings and I went to private schools, good universities, we obtained postgraduates, and have good jobs. Well, most of us. We had a family house, owned other properties like condos, cars. We even had household staff who came and went, and we rubbed elbows with the country's elites. Nothing as extravagant as them, but enough that money was never something we worried about. Secure. So, I carried that belief into adulthood that no matter what happened, we would be okay. That even if I quit my job tomorrow, my parents could help me and I'll be safe no matter what. They even sent me birthday money well into my 30s because I'm still unmarried. It's tradition. Then, everything unraveled at the same time. Both of my parents were diagnosed with cancer within weeks of each other, early stages. I flew back home to spend time with them, and I've spent 2 months living in the family home, taking care of them during chemo. It was shocking, but part of me still felt this strange sense of calm, like both are in their early stages. We can handle this together as a family. Treatment is expensive, yes, but we've always had resources. We'll figure it out. But we couldn't, because everything was gone. My sibling ended up carrying most of the hospital bills because there was nothing left in my parents' accounts. Nothing. I don't mean little, I mean nothing. And it didn't make any sense. How does a life that looks so secure just disappear? The properties they had, some were already sold. Where did that money go? I don't know. Some are more complicated, and some we never owned in the first place. Yeah, it was a lie. The inheritance they always talked about and low key had us competing over didn't exist. They had to let go of their household staff. They had to sell their material things and cars. Us siblings had to pull money to pay for their credit card debt we didn't even know existed. I still don't know the answer to how they ended up here, and they won't tell me. Still think I'm a kid who has no business with family finances, even now as you're paying for everything. You're in your 30s? And they don't want to tell you? Okay. Now, we're here trying to make chemo payments, surgery fees, doctor visits, tests, CAT scans, etc. While we're also worrying about things as basic as gas and food. I live in a different country from them, but I picked up a second job just to help keep things afloat and send money back home. Every day feels like trying to catch up to something that's collapsing, and it all happened in an instant, but it was inevitable. Uh, Gambling, probably. Gambling debt is pretty common, and they're also probably very embarrassed. It's a thing with the older generation to be so embarrassed about finances and to also just never, never, ever discuss finances with the children, no matter how old these children may be. It doesn't matter if the children are 47. We don't discuss finances with the children. Or they could have just always been living right on the edge, living just a teensy weensy itty bitty bit above their means. Like they were just never going to have that inheritance, just always paying for things, never having a savings, etc. And that's why you thought that you were always rich and comfortable and this and that. And now you don't have nothing. But my bet is still gambling and living life on the edge is my best bet. Because wow, wow. All right, next one. Am I the butthole? My husband cut off my son's hair, so I used his card to buy my son the designer jacket he's been wanting. All right. My son is 17, and pretty much all of his life has had long hair. He had long, thick, and very well maintained black hair that went just past his chest, and he loved it. My husband, his stepdad, has never been a fan of it and has always thought it was girly. He's never been mean or cruel about it to my son's face, but he has said to me that he thinks he should cut it off. The two of them got into a huge fight because my son has been skipping his class, and that, as punishment, he cut his hair off. I don't know how it went down, but when I came home, my son was crying and trying to cut his own hair in the mirror. I asked him what was wrong and what he was doing, and he told me that my husband had randomly cut his hair short in random spots, and now he had to cut it really short to even it out and make it look okay. I went and spoke to my husband to find out the specifics of what had happened from his side as well, and it ended up in a yelling match because while I don't agree with my son skipping classes, I felt that cutting his hair over it was cruel and horrible when this could have been resolved in another way. To cheer up my son, I bought him this leather jacket that he's wanted for a while out of my husband's money. My husband found out and was furious, but I told him he shouldn't have cut my son's hair, and he can do this as an apology. It's going to take years for my son's hair to grow back, but my husband can make that money back quickly. Am I the butthole? Yeah, but not for what you asked. You're the butthole for giving your son a evil stepfather, for lack of a better term. Things I can say on YouTube. Yeah, you gave your son an evil stepfather, and you're not protecting him as a mother should. So, anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.